At TAS TV, every dream deserves a chance. We believe that the next great presenters and reporters starts with an opportunity.
A very good afternoon and thank you for joining us for 3 p.m. news. I'm Jacqueline Accord.
And I am Victoria Mnyazi.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TAS, mimi ni Komen Masi.
That is why our attaches aren't just here to learn. They're given priority to create, host and deliver real television shows.
What's up? Karibuni sana kwenye sayari ya mapenzi.
And welcome again to the final whistle whereby football never sleeps.
Karibuni sana hapa kwenye Urban Connect.
We will be welcoming you to our show that is the Sabbath welcoming. Here, talent is discovered, skills are sharpened, and confidence comes alive on screen. Contact us on +254 798 154 042 or send us an email at tastvkenya@gmail.com. You can also visit us at Nema Plaza, 2nd floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Join TAS TV, where your dream is our vision.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines. And groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
Good afternoon and welcome to TAS TV News. I am Mwangi. Here are the top stories making headlines today on Wednesday, July 29th, 2026.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines. And groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
Erupted within President William Ruto's cabinet following controversial remarks by Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale. His comments have sparked criticism from fellow cabinet members, opposition leaders, and the public, exposing growing divisions within the Kenya Kwanza administration as the country heads toward the 2027 general election. Our reporter Sylvia has more details.
What began as a political statement by Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has now developed into a major cabinet controversy. The remarks, which critics described as ethnically divisive, triggered strong reactions from leaders across the political divide. Lance Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome publicly called on Duale to apologize, saying such statements undermine national unity. The disagreement has now gone beyond politics, raising concerns over unity within President William Ruto's cabinet. Political observers argue that the public exchange between senior cabinet secretaries could affect the government's image and shift attention away from service delivery.
Kama ulikuwa unafikiria hiyo kule orokarao ati sijui nini, we don't care. Hatutaki kujua, mchaguane vile mnataka kuchaguana. Yes, hata mkitaka kuchagua sijui kondoo, mchague. Hata mkitaka kuchagua mtu ambaye kichwa yake sio mzuri, mchague. We don't care.
For you cannot preach, be in the unity of the nation, and then start coming to divide or preach division of a community. Total ignorance, and I reject that trajectory.
Kuongea ukisema ati mlima itakatwa mara mbili, hiyo tunakataa mchana peupe.
Controversy has also attracted the attention of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, which has opened investigations into the remarks. Duale, however, insists his comments were taken out of context and maintains that he has nothing to apologize for. Opposition leaders have also weighed in, with some demanding disciplinary action against the Health Cabinet Secretary, while others have urged all political leaders to avoid statements that could fuel ethnic tension. The debate continues to dominate Kenya's political landscape.
Waseme UDA walete rais na ODM walete deputy president. Sisi tutapeleka kwa soko Wycliffe, Ambetsa, Oparanya.
Sasa nimerudi kufanya siasa mpaka tarehe 10 Agosti mwaka ujao, mpaka tuingie ndani.
Najua tumeongezeka, kina Oparanya wamekuja, wamekaribishwa, lakini hatutoki, hatuwezi waondokea.
Na mimi nilisema juzi ya wajano naye, kwa sababu najua kikwetu Kindiki ni mtoto wetu, wanamkosea heshima. Sasa mimi nauliza, yeye yako kwa kiti sahihi, huyu Junet Mohamed anatangaza ya kwamba hatakuwa running mate, na Kindiki yako kwa kiti.
Wiko ndugu wengine wetu walikuwa wanasema tuondoke, mimi nikakataa. Nikasema hatuwezi, because you don't build a house, complete it, furnish it, and then you abandon it, alafu unaenda kuishi msituni.
Attention is now on President William Ruto on whether he will intervene to ease tensions within his cabinet. The outcome of this dispute could shape both the administration's unity and the country's political climate in the months ahead. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Sylvia Murugi.
Political future of Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has become a subject of debate following remarks by ODM Secretary General Juliet Mohammed appearing to endorse Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya for the county's second highest office. The comments have raised questions over Kindiki's position. Emily reports.
I, Kithure Kindiki,
an year after being sworn in,
I assume as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is at the center of political discussion following remarks by ODM Secretary General Junet Mohamed backing Wycliffe Oparanya for the Deputy President position.
Waseme UDA walete rais na ODM walete deputy president. Sisi tutapeleka kwa soko Wycliffe, Ambetsa, Oparanya.
Comments have sparked debates over possible shift within the broad-based government. However, Kindiki has maintained that the inclusion of ODM leaders in the government does not mean he will be replaced, insisting that he remains focused on serving Kenyans.
Kwa hivyo hii serikali, muache mchezo. Hii ni serikali yetu, hatutoki, tunang'ang'ana hapa. Najua tumeongezeka, kina Oparanya wamekuja, wamekaribishwa, lakini hatutoki, hatuwezi waondokea. Tutang'ang'ana tukiwa hapa ndani, kwa sababu hii ni serikali yetu. Na hapo ndio tulisema, wiko ndugu wengine wetu walikuwa wanasema tuondoke, mimi nikakataa. Nikasema hatuwezi, because you don't build a house, complete it, furnish it, and then you abandon it, alafu unaenda kuishi msituni.
As political alliance continue to change, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is seeking to reassure his supporters that his position remains secure, even as discussion around future leadership continues to dominate the political space. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Emily Kimani.
Democracy for the Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua has dismissed the National Cohesion and Integration Commission's decision to investigate him over remarks allegedly deemed inflammatory. Speaking during the final day of his 3-day tour of Meru County, Gachagua maintained he stands by his statements. Our reporter Ruth Oyo has more.
Democracy for the Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua has challenged the National Cohesion and Integration Commission after being listed among leaders under investigation over remarks alleged to threaten national cohesion.
Sisi tunasema kuua nyoka ni kufukuza William Ruto kwa kura. Kuua nyoka pamoja na mayai ni kufukuza wale wote wanatembea na Ruto kupitia kura. Kwa sababu sisi we speak in proverbs, we speak in symbolism, and figurative language for effective communication.
Addressing residents in Buru constituency, As he concluded his 3 days tour of Meru County, Gachagua said he was ready to appear before the commission and explain his remarks.
Sisi tuseme hatuna hate speech. Sisi tunatumia figurative language kwa sababu sisi ni wanafunzi wa literature. So NCIC kama mnataka explanation mniandikie barua nitajibu nyinyi. Sitakubali mtu yeyote akosee watu ya Mlima Kenya heshima. Mimi nimejitolea hata kama ni kukufa, hata kama ni kuhangaishwa, hata kama ni kufungwa jela, nitalinda heshima ya wakaaji wa Mlima Kenya na maisha yangu, na sitakubali mtu yeyote ahangaishe jamii yetu.
Insisting he will not react his statements, he also addressed claim that Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is being sidelined with the government, saying he had previously warned him of the challenges he might face.
I told Professor Kindiki, don't dance on the grave of your brother, because siku moja pia utapata shida. Kwa hivyo Kindiki, ile unapata ni ugonjwa wa kujitafutia.
The commission has not publicly responded to Gachagua's latest remarks. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Ruth Oyo.
Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has accused former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua of allegedly organizing that those involved in criminal rising political ahead of the 2027 general election. Our reporter gives. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has launched a fiery attack against former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accusing him of allegedly organizing the Mwangi group and warning that the government will take action against those involved in activities that threaten national security.
I want to tell Rigathi Gachagua, the way you are organizing goons as a deputy president and organizing goons to invade people's farms and to disrupt Maandamano, you think that everybody is like you, so you think I'm doing what you are doing. I am different. I was brought up differently. I have different values. I'm a Sunday school teacher. I'm not like you. And because Rigathi Gachagua has become a master of hypocrisy, he is a man who speaks, he has a double speak. He does not even know what he said yesterday. I want to tell him with no uncertain terms that he is a man of very bad character, a person who doesn't deserve to hold any office in this republic.
Speaking during a public event, Murkomen claimed that individuals behind the organization of criminal groups would be held accountable in a stern warning directed at Gachagua. The remarks come amid growing political tensions and sharp exchanges between the government officials and opposition-aligned leaders ahead of the 2027 general election.
Na kwa sababu yeye amekuwa impeached, he thinks that he can now anatuharibia majina kila mahali akisunguka Murkomen this, Murkomen that. Let me tell him that we will deal with goons, and we will deal starting with your goons. From your doorstep, we will make sure that those goons are dealt with. And even hiyo maneno unasema ati unapanga vijana ati watakuwa wanatembea kuintimidate watu ambao hawakubaliani na wewe kisiasa. Nilisikia vile uliongea jana. Unajaribu kuita wale ambao wana mwelekeo tofauti ya kisiasa kuliko wewe, unawaita wasaliti. Umeanza kuita machiefs. Unasema tunataka chiefs. I know what you are doing, Gachagua.
Murkomen's latest attack adds to the escalating political rhetoric, with both sides trading accusations over security, political mobilization, and alleged attempts to destabilize the country.
You are organizing Mungiki against the government officials. You are organizing Mungiki against the electoral officials. But I want to tell you, we will not allow you. We will deal with you perpendicularly.
As the political battle intensifies, Kenyans continue to watch closely as leaders position themselves ahead of the 2027 elections. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika Kiambu, my name is Mwangi. Political influence in Western Kenya is intensifying, with leaders allied to the broad-based government rallying behind Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya as their preferred candidate for Deputy President in the 2027 general elections. The leaders say Oparanya has the experience to unite the Abaluya community and strengthen President William Ruto's re-election bid, even as rival ODM factions compete for dominance in the vote-rich region. Grace Tabitha.
Members of parliament supporting the broad-based government from Western Kenya have insisted that they want Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Ambeta Oparanya to be President William Ruto's running mate in the upcoming general election, stating that he has qualities to unite the Abaluya community and carries the blessings of the former ODM leader Raila Odinga.
Sisi tunaenda kuungana na kutengeneza serikali ya 2027 na President William Samoei Ruto. Na UDA wakipata president, nani anapata deputy?
UDA imetupatia president. Sisi wote tunaunga mkono. ODM tukupatie number 2, na huyo number 2 akwe ni Wycliffe Ambeta.
Ruto anaposimama hapo na sisi tunaleta farasi yetu, na hiyo farasi yetu ni Wycliffe Ambeta Oparanya.
Sisi kama chama ya ODM tulete candidate, na nyinyi watu wa UDA mulete candidate ya number 1 na sisi tumupe na candidate ya number 2.
While Sifuna's faction seek political dominance in Western Kenya, politicians allied to the government wing gathered in Kakamega to champion President William Ruto's presidency and demand deputy president position. During the meeting, Sifuna, who has been a vocal critic of the broad-based government, was accused of misleading the Luhya community.
Amejibeba ameenda in the places Baba cautioned us. Now it is my time to also ask the same question. Who advised you?
This gathering, held concurrently with Sifuna's tour in Bungoma, highlights a strategic push by the ODM faction and its allies to capture the significant share of the over 2 million registered voters in the western region, an area historically marked by political division between Raila's ODM camp and Kenya Kwanza. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Grace Tabitha.
And updates. Stay tuned.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continue to make headlines, and groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
At TAS TV, every dream deserves a chance. We believe that the next great presenters and reporters starts with an opportunity.
A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 3 p.m. news. I'm Jacqueline Accord.
And I am Victoria Mnyazi.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TAS, mimi ni Komen Masi.
That is why our attaches aren't just here to learn. They are given priority to create, host and deliver real television shows.
What's up? Karibuni sana kwenye sayari ya mapenzi.
And welcome again to the final whistle, whereby football never sleeps.
Karibuni sana hapa kwenye Urban Connect. We will be welcoming you to our show that is the Sabbath welcoming.
Here, talent is discovered, skills are sharpened, and confidence comes alive on screen. Contact us on +254 798 154 042 or send us an email at tastvkenya@gmail.com. You can also visit us at Nema Plaza, 2nd floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Join TAS TV, where your dream is our vision.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continue to make headlines, and groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
And sidelining loyal grassroots supporters. The disgruntled members are calling for fairness and transparency in the party's decision-making process. Our reporter Jacqueline Accord with more details.
The Orange Democratic Movement is facing renewed internal tension as a section of members concerned reign over the party's leadership and decision-making. The complaint comes shortly after a high-level meeting attended by Deputy Party leaders Wycliffe Oparanya and Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, speaking in Malava.
Sisi tumejenga mnara wa Sifuna. Kwa sababu maneno ya Ruto anafuata wakora, sisi tumeamua kama itakuwa bila inaenda, Barasa kuja join mnara ya Sifuna tukonge hii watu vipi. Kama wataka president simama na Ruto. Mwangaliane mtu kwa mtu.
Group led by Lazaro Luciveli alleged that dedicated grassroots members are being sidelined. The group has called on the party leadership to promote fairness, inclusivity, and transparency, warning that unresolved concern could affect unity within the party.
Lakini waje kuja kwa nyuma anataka kuwa party leader ili kunyanyasa watu Kakamega. Tunakwambia hiyo biashara unatengeneza hiyo. Tumekuonea 18. Na tunakwambia sisi kama watu wa Malava tunaenda kumuonyesha nyinyi hiyo maneno mliwele lukalau itakuwa times 2.
Watu wenye oparanyalita hapa Malava, hao watu hawako watu wa ODM. Yeye aliita tu watu brokers, amekuja kuipia pesa.
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Jacqueline Accord.
ODM has declared the Deputy President's position non-negotiable for supporting President Ruto's 2027 re-election bid and is demanding a 50-50 share of government appointments. Party leaders say they are reviewing their deal with UDA to take the DP seat currently held by Professor Kithure Kindiki, who insists he will not step down. John Mathia has more on this report.
ODM has intensified its push for the deputy president position in the broad-based government, stating that backing President William Ruto's re-election bid depends on securing the seat. Speaking on the matter, ODM Deputy Party Leader Simba Arati, Minority Leader Junet Mohamed and Party Leader Oburu Oginga also demanded an equal 50-50 split of government appointments.
As President Ruto is going for the presidency, we will also go for the deputy as a party. That's the position.
If UDA produces the presidential candidate, ODM must produce the deputy presidential candidate so that the two parties can be together in the next election. So it's a confirmed position that we will go for the deputy president's position.
Kindiki, however, responded yesterday saying he will not be sidelined in the race to remain President Ruto's running mate in 2027.
Najua tumeongezeka, kina Oparanya wamekuja, wamekaribishwa, lakini hatutoki, hatuwezi waondokea. Tutangangana tukiwa hapa ndani.
From the coast, ODM leaders have endorsed mining CS Ali Hassan Joho for the DP position. This comes just a day after the party also fronted cooperative CS Wycliffe Oparanya for the same role. The fight for the country's second highest office is turning into a major political contest as ODM seeks to take the position from UDA. The party says it is reviewing its working agreement with UDA and wants the DP seat currently occupied by Professor Kithure Kindiki. Other names ODM has mentioned for the DP slot include Gladys Wanga, governor for Homa Bay County, but party officials say their immediate goal is to lock down the opposition first before naming a final candidate. On Monday, coast leaders met to urge residents to register as voters in a bid to increase the region's influence as they campaign for Joho's deputy president's bid. ODM is also pushing for a 50-50 power sharing deal. Out of 22 cabinet secretary positions, the party wants at least 11. Currently, ODM holds 5 CS slots in the broad-based government.
It is open for everyone. Yesterday, We talked about Oparanya. He's one of the top contenders of the party for that position.
Oparanya has been one of the most top governors. When he was governor for Kakamega, he used to be number one. He used to be rated number one. So I think his bid for President Ruto's running mate is a strong one.
What we want to do is to get the position as a party. Then when we get it as a party, we will sit down as a party and agree on the right person.
We know these leaders. We know who is capable, we know who is not capable.
The party is also targeting top parliamentary positions, including Speaker of the National Assembly and Speaker of the Senate, plus half of Kenya's 36 diplomatic postings out of the 72 missions abroad. ODM's push to restructure the broad-based government ahead of next year's election is expected to trigger a major political showdown.
Our party, ODM and the UDA, we will go 50-50. There is no shortcut about it. If we have no 50, there is no sorry. It's 50-50.
Alliance leaders are scheduled to meet at a key retreat next week. Although formal negotiations haven't begun, officials say the retreat will lay out the negotiation roadmap. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is John Mwangi.
In Busia County have launched an intensive investigation into the murder of Bernard Otieno, a case that has left his family and residents searching for answers. Investigators say they are gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses to establish what happened and identify those responsible. Our reporter Teresa Mwende has more.
Residents of Busia County are mourning the death of Bernard Otieno, who was reportedly attacked at his home by unknown people. Incident has shocked the local community, with family members calling for justice and urging authorities to speed up the investigation.
Kujia kwangu. Mlango na tukua tumefunga, tujui vile mlango ilifunguliwa. Saa zile walikuwa natoka na simu akikimbia, time walikuwa naruka fence. Mmoja amesharuka, saa mwingine bado bwana wangu alikuwa na struggle naye. Huyo mwingine kumbe amekuwa na kisu, ndio alikuwa na dunga na visu zenye amemdunga hizo 6. Akadungwa na kisu. Hiyo tema alikuwa na struggle na huyo mwenye aliingia kwa nyumba. Huyo mwingine amekuwa juu, kwa hivyo nayo alikuwa analinga mawe. Alikuwa analinga mawe na mtoto alikuwa hapo. So mtoto akadodge mawe kabaki hapo hivyo. Alitoka tu kana niongelesha, kafika kwa gate. Kufika kwa gate akalemewa, akaanguka hapo.
Suspect has been officially identified or charged in the connection of the case.
Busia County, mambo ya insecurity iko juu sana. Bodaboda wanauawa, vijana wanauawa, watoto wanauawa, wamama wanauawa. Sasa sisi tunauliza, tunaishi nchi gani? So sisi tunaomba tafadhali tupewe usalama. Tunahitaji kulindwa. Na si ati tunabembeleza. Tunataka kuona ya kwamba hawa watu wameshikwa. Sababu waathiriwa wamesema wako na evidence kwa simu. Na tunashukuru kwa sababu DCI wamekuja na wamecollect zile evidence zenye wanaweza collect.
Residents have also appealed for securities agencies to ensure those responsible are brought into justice and to improve security in the area. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Teresa Mwende.
Suspects arrested in connection with the attempted attack at St. Stephen's Church in Kisumu have been released after the prosecution failed to charge them. The suspects had been in police custody as investigations continued, but Kisumu Senior Principal Magistrate Valerie Athiambo ordered their immediate release. The defense has now challenged police to pursue the real perpetrators behind the incident that left 2 people dead. Our reporter Victoria Mnyazi has the details.
8 people arrested over the attempted attack at St. Stephen's Church in Kisumu are now free after the prosecution failed to bring charges against them. Their release came despite the prosecution having completed investigations into the incident. Kisumu Senior Principal Magistrate Valerie Athiambo dismissed 3 miscellaneous applications, including a request by the prosecution to keep the suspects in custody pending plea taking. The defense welcomed the court's decision and called on police to shift their focus to those behind the attack. The incident occurred on July 12 when rival groups of youth clashed outside the church as opposition leaders attended a fundraising event. The confrontation turned deadly, leaving 2 people dead and raising concerns over the security situation surrounding the event. The court ordered the immediate release of the 8 respondents, directing that the file be closed unless they were being held over other lawful matters.
A second application to continue holding the respondents in the cells pending pre-checking was withdrawn, and as such I will not dwell on the same. I will not dwell on it, and order that the respondents be released immediately. This file has been closed unless lawfully held in other matters, save from prison.
The defense has urged police to track down and arrest those responsible for the violence, insisting that the actual perpetrators must be brought to justice. The lawyer also questioned the need for an identification parade in cases where suspects are allegedly arrested in the act, criticizing what he described as unnecessary delays in the investigative process.
We call upon the police to arrest the true perpetrators of the crime that happened when we were at the church. And they should be made to answer. And we will not rest until they become accountable.
If somebody is arrested in flagrante delicto, if somebody is arrested red-handed, that person should not be subjected to an ID parade. So the folk wisdom that is being that is being used by the DPP to make us believe that they are doing investigations will not be tolerated.
With the 8 suspects now released, the spotlight turns to the police to identify and apprehend those responsible for the deadly crash at St. Stephen's Church. The defense maintains that justice will only be served when the actual perpetrators are arrested and brought before the courts. Victoria Mnyazi, TAS TV, Thika.
In parts of West Pokot County is raising concern over food security and the livelihoods of hundreds of families. The prolonged dry spell has left crops withered, water sources depleted, and pasture increasingly scarce, forcing some pastoralists to move with their livestock in search of water and grazing land. Our reporter Komen Mercy has more.
The reality of drought is becoming increasingly evident across part of West Pokot County, where prolonged dry conditions have taken a heavy toll on both farming and pastoralist communities. Fields that were once expected to provide food have dried up. Livestock farmers are also facing an uphill task as water sources and grazing fields continue to shrink.
Mambo ya mvua, mambo ya maji imekuwa teketeke. Tunaanza sasa kuhama kutoka mambo ya ng'ombe na mbuzi tunaelekea kwa mambo ya ngamia. Unajua ngamia moja hapa hata ikizaa inaweza kusaidia watu wengi.
The worsening conditions have forced some pastoralists to move with their animals in search of pasture and water, with some crossing into neighboring Uganda.
Na tayari serikali inajua na tumwaeleza kwamba wakati huu inatakana watu waletewe chakula.
The crisis is also affecting education, as some children are reportedly moving with their families and livestock, making it difficult for them to remain in school. Residents are now calling for urgent food relief, water supplies, and livestock feed to caution vulnerable households from the effects of the drought.
Mambo ya kiangazi imekuja kabisa, amekuja na
Leaders and local administrators are also urging the government and humanitarian organizations to scale up intervention, warning that the situation could deteriorate further if adequate assistance is not provided.
Ruhusu mtu atoke shule, mama apate shida ya kutunza watoto wake kwa sababu ya chakula. Tuta make sure kila mtu amepata chakula ya kutosha kuendeleza maisha yake.
Reporting for TAS TV, I am Komen Mercy.
Residents of Utawala are set to benefit from a new water distribution project scheduled to become operational in August, a move expected to improve access to clean and reliable water for thousands of households. Alvin Kenga with more.
Residents have welcomed the project, expressing optimism that it will ease the burden of water scarcity and improve living standards. Authorities have assured the public that final testing and commissioning are underway, with the project expected to begin supplying water to consumers from August.
These pipes are for last year, financial year, and they are also going to be distributed to various water companies in Kiambu. You can see all of them. They are here. Nyumbani initiatives where we want to serve every single citizen, and particularly our people who were underserved previously. If you look at the cost now, at the coverage, we have reached more than 85%.
Every water source, every water distribution mechanism that requires power, muhakikisha kwamba we have solarized. We have solarized about 32 boreholes zenye tumefanya, although we have done more, but that's now where we were in that momentum. Kwanza tulianza kuchimba, now solarization. Tafadhalini, to help the water companies survive, hakikisheni ya kwamba you have a discussion around ensuring that all power, other than the heavy machinery moving power, is solarized.
The end of this edition of TAS TV News. Thank you for watching. I'm Mwangi. For more news and updates, stay connected with us across our social media platforms. Have a great day and goodbye.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines, and groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
At TAS TV, every dream deserves a chance. We believe that the next great presenters and reporters starts with an opportunity.
A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 3 p.m. news. I'm Jacqueline Akoth.
And I am Victoria Mnyazi.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TAS, mimi ni Komen Masi.
That is why our attaches aren't just here to learn. They are given priority to create, host and deliver real television shows.
What's up? Karibuni sana kwenye sayari ya mapenzi.
And welcome again to the final whistle, whereby football never sleeps.
Karibuni sana hapa kwenye Urban Connect.
We will be welcoming you to our show, that is the Sabbath Welcoming. Here, talent is discovered, skills are sharpened, and confidence comes alive on screen. Contact us on +254 798 154 042 or send us an email at tastvkenya@gmail.com. You can also visit us at Nema Plaza, 2nd floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Join TAS TV, where your dream is our vision.